Donald Trump is panicking right now as one of his closest allies, Matt Gaetz, is caught in a bombshell news scandal involving a 17-year-old. And this scandal is a full-blown crisis that has the power to drag Trump down with him. As the Epstein files dominate headlines, this new revelation about Gaetz threatens to reopen every dark corner of Trump's inner circle and forces the Republican Party to make a crucial decision about Trump. So stick around to see how this shocking scandal could explode into Trump's worst nightmare yet, and as always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more. Okay, so we all remember Matt Gaetz, right? The Republican congressman who's worked for years to push forward far-right policies, and the guy who helped Trump's team develop the January 6th riot. Well, Matt Gaetz has been one of the leading voices of the MAGA movement for years now, fighting for Donald Trump in Congress and even getting nominated to run the Justice Department before the Senate rejected him. Now, after his loss in the Senate, Gaetz resigned from Congress altogether, and while a lot of people were hoping that a disgraced Republican like him would just walk away, he's actually been hinting that he's going to be running for Senate or to replace Ron DeSantis as governor of Florida, because he is term limited.
Many have asked which perch I will be fighting from next. And some of you throughout this conference have even given me a few suggestions. My fellow Floridians have asked me to eye the governor's mansion in Tallahassee. Maybe special counsel to go after the insider trading for my former colleagues in Congress. It seems I may not have had enough support in the United States Senate. Maybe I'll just run for Marco Rubio's vacant seat in the United States Senate and join some of those folks. And my friend Steve Bannon and others have suggested that I return to the House of Representatives on January 3rd, but I would remind Steve, when he got out of prison, he didn't punch a guard on the way out. For the moment, I'll enjoy being one of you. It was James Madison who said that the most powerful position in America would not be congressman or senator or even president, but that of citizen, because we put such an obligation on the citizenry to ignite the patriotism that the country needs.
Now, Gaetz did not end up going for the Senate seat, which leads many people to believe that next year he's going to be making a run to be the governor of Florida. And unfortunately for the state of Florida, Gaetz actually would have a pretty good chance of winning there. He has name recognition, a resume as a congressman, and the backing of the insane MAGA voter base. The only thing that he has going against him, besides being an insufferable person overall, is some old accusations from Congress that have recently shot back into the spotlight. You see, before he left Congress, Matt Gaetz organized a revolt against the former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, and got him replaced by Mike Johnson. And McCarthy, along with other Republicans who hated Gaetz, have been warning ever since that Matt Gaetz has some dark skeletons in the closet. In this resurfaced clip of McCarthy, after getting kicked out as Speaker, he claims that Gaetz was allegedly under investigation for supposedly sleeping with a 17-year-old, and he even says that the people who voted to replace him with Mike Johnson probably regret their vote now.
You made a lot of concessions in the negotiations.
No, I didn't. Okay,
is that
let's get to the bottom of that.
Right?
That is such a misnomer in life. Let me give you the truth about that now. And I'll give you the truth why I'm not Speaker. It's because one person, a member of Congress, wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old. An ethics complaint that started before I ever became Speaker, and that's illegal, and I'm not going to get in the middle. Did he do it or not? I don't know. But ethics is looking at it. There's other people in jail because of it. And he wanted me to influence it. And you know what? So then they come out and they say, because I kept government open. I'd do it all over again. We're not going to pay our troops? No, I'm going to pay my troops. You can't do the job? Okay. When it comes to the concession, the motion to vacate about one person being able to make that motion, how long has that been in the rules? Forever. The only time it was changed is when Pelosi became Speaker the second time. And she put the power with the minority leader. I think it's wrong. I think you can let them govern. Now, it takes 218 to have the rule package. There's nothing I can do there. But I had 5 people who never voted for me anyways in the process. I had 8 at the end that did the other. But everybody had to live by it. I lived by it. I think today, if you went back to the people that voted, did they think that was a smart vote? I don't think so.
McCarthy tried to warn us that speakers need to negotiate, and that Mike Johnson was going to suck at his job. And he also warned us that Matt Gaetz was a creep who might be in trouble soon, and sadly, the Republicans didn't listen to either of these warnings. Not only did we just go through the longest shutdown ever, thanks in part to Mike Johnson, but we also got some stunning news in relation to Matt Gaetz. Before Congress could ever get around to releasing information about their investigation into Matt Gaetz, a witness came forward and admitted to all of the accusations against Gaetz. This individual not only confirmed the rumors about him, but she admitted to being the victim in his crimes herself.
Some brand new reporting, horrific new details have emerged from a young woman who was allegedly exploited by former Congressman Matt Gaetz, who you may recall was Donald Trump's first choice before Pam Bondi to serve as Attorney General. For the first time, the New York Times has obtained a direct account from the woman who testified under oath that she, at the age of 17, had sex with Matt Gaetz for money. Last month, in response to a request from the McClatchy newspaper chain, a federal judge in Florida unsealed court documents from a related civil case that shed some light on her story. The documents included a description of the girl that said that at the time she met Gaetz, she was, quote, a then homeless 17-year-old high schooler. In response to that disclosure, the New York Times reached out to the girl's lawyer, Laura Wolf, who agreed to confirm some basic biographical information about her client, providing details for the first time of how the girl's circumstances led to her encounters with Matt Gaetz. Wolf said her client believed the public should have a fuller understanding of how she had been victimized. According to the lawyer, her path to meeting the then sitting congressman began when she was a high school junior in Florida. She was working at McDonald's and she was living in and out of a homeless shelter, hoping to save up to buy braces to fix her teeth. She falsely advertised herself in 2017 as 18 years old on a website that matches men looking for companionship with young women looking to make money.
She goes on this website. She meets Joel Greenberg, who's a friend of Matt Gaetz. And Greenberg starts giving her drugs, starts paying her. And then by that July, she's at the home of this lobbyist in Florida, where there's this party where she's still 17 and she takes drugs and she drinks and she has sex twice with Matt Gaetz. And some of the details from that are directly from the House Ethics investigation.
Matt Gaetz was not only engaging in illegal prostitution, but at least one of the victims was underage when they interacted. This not only confirms what Speaker McCarthy said years ago, but could indicate that Gaetz was fully aware of his actions, and this is terrible news for Gaetz if he ever wants to hold office again. But what makes this so much worse, especially for Trump, is what happens if the accusations against Matt Gaetz turn out to be true. If prosecutors can prove that Gaetz knew that this girl was underage, it could lead to serious criminal charges, and that would send shockwaves straight through Trump's inner circle. Because ultimately, this isn't just bad news for Gaetz, it's a full-blown crisis for the Republican Party as a whole. They're about to be forced into a corner. Do they finally hold one of their own accountable for heinous crimes, or do they double down and defend him the same way they defend Donald Trump? And with the Epstein files still looming, the timing couldn't be worse. How Republicans respond to Matt Gaetz right now could be the ultimate test of how they'll have to respond if Trump himself gets caught up in something even darker. And that is exactly why this scandal has Trump panicking, because this sets the precedent that will be Trump's ultimate demise. Now, I do believe that there are a lot of Republicans in Congress who are upset about the Epstein files, but popular MAGA leaders are on the fence. Just this week, for example, Megyn Kelly went viral for joking about how there's a big difference between someone who commits sex crimes with teenagers versus children.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls. And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types.
And if that isn't bad enough, Donald Trump himself went on record and said that he still isn't ruling out giving a full pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell.
Have you ruled out a pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I haven't even thought about it. I mean, I haven't thought about it for months. Maybe I haven't thought about it at all. You're just asking me a question, but I don't talk about that. I don't rule it in or out. I don't even think about it.
If this is how the cultural forces behind MAGA are talking about these kinds of criminals, then there might still be a good chance that the Republican Party starts to split. Some of them want to investigate these criminals, and others want to defend them. And as disgusting as that is, this is where the Republican Party is in 2025. Who knows how this debate will go down, but it could all be starting with Matt Gaetz, and what kind of trouble he faces with this new bombshell accusation.